Hello and welcome to the TBD College Football Podcast, episode 8. That's right, 8. And I am joined, my name is Neubeck, of course. I am joined, as always, by our favorite Maryland resident, Dugan. Dugan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, hockey's back.
All is right. Playoff
baseball. The Skins are 4-2.
I bet they are.
What can't? It's a great time to be a sports fan.
Oh, it's it's a very good time, especially with college football getting better and better each week. It's going to be a really good time. I think college basketball starts just about the end of it.
Who cares about that?
Me.
No. Oh, yeah, because Maryland's window is, like...
Done.
Yeah.
it's gone. It's gone. So, it was fun for them.
Dutton's argument that basketball is way cooler than college football is just the most preposterous thing ever. And it's so Dutton, it hurts.
I like college basketball. I like them both. I don't like comparing things I like. Like, in that, they're two completely different things. I don't think they're comparable. If that makes sense.
I agree, but it's so hard to find a sport like college football because there's so much debate. College basketball comes down to one tournament where not the best team, the hottest team wins.
And it's brilliant. I like it.
It's brilliant in its own right. I'll give it that a credit. It creates fandom for 3 weeks, which is good. Everybody's watching, and obviously it's like fantasy football in March.
God, fantasy football.
Yeah.
How are you doing that? I haven't finished the power rankings yet.
Odell Beckham Jr. put me in the grave.
I'm sorry. I mean, Brad, he put me in the grave too, so.
That is true. You had to lose one to win one.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. But it'll make me a stronger man.
It does. You are having one just rough
Brad, I'm on a stinker right now. I'm on a terrible stinker.
Fall.
I was thinking about it with my dad. So the Ravens haven't won in 3 weeks. And I don't think Notre Dame has won in 3. I've just been a loser for the last... I haven't won anything in so long. It's frustrating.
It's hard.
But hey, just gotta... It'll... Law of averages.
Law of averages. We all can't have nice things.
We can't, except for Will Corney, who has nice everything, apparently. Yeah. When it comes to winning. He wins everything.
That's true. I hate it. And even though he does not deserve it.
I didn't say that. You did.
He could be a pretty awful human being.
Once again, that was not... that's not me. That's one B-Rad. Hey, sidebar, because it's on TV right now. Have you seen this guy at the Blue Jays game with the mega glove?
No.
He has, you've seen what is that, bench warmers?
Yeah.
when they're in the sporting goods store, and he's like, I got mega glove. That's a massive baseball glove this guy in the stands has. It's pretty funny. Give it a it's worth a look.
All right. Let's get down to business here. We will start off with the 12 o'clock game that kind of shocked everyone.
Didn't shock us, Brad.
NC State Clemson.
It didn't shock us. I wish we could somehow put our phone texts on this.
Oh, I know.
Because I knew it was happening. We knew it was. He was going to miss it. He was going to miss. Oh, Brad, that makes me so mad now. Just rethinking about that entire
To be honest, I just didn't give it a whole lot of thought until now, or at least the feelings are rushing back, and it's not good. I don't like it because God. That was... And the sad thing was, before Dabo called timeout, he made it.
Yep.
He made it.
Sure as hell did.
But everybody in that stadium knew that if that thing went to overtime, it was done. I mean...
It was so weird because, they weren't... NC State, wasn't moving the ball with a purpose. They were trying to get a last-second field goal, but were also somehow getting chunk plays. It was so something was off kilter, and then the clock struck midnight, and that kid, you gotta. That's so inexcusable. I'm sorry, I don't care what the situation is. That's so inexcusable.
It's tough to watch, and it's just a reminder of what the gap is between college football kickers and pro style football kickers. I mean, where 40 yards is a gimme, it's a field goal now. It's an extra point. So it was tough watching. Feel bad for the kid, but NC State.
But isn't that why we love the sport?
Exactly.
That's so why we love it.
NC State needs to come out with that one. Gosh,
that's probably the happiest, saddest I've ever been, because it didn't really affect me. It was so painful to watch, but that's why you love the sport. I was so mad, but I was like, that was freaking awesome to see a kid do that.
A lot of what ifs obviously going through your head as NC State is on, the 23-yard line with a minute and a half left, and Dabo's over there praying to his voodoo god or whatever he does.
Playing with his pud.
Yeah, and he just, oh man, and in 40 seconds I just started hating Dabo. I just can't stand him. NC State should have won. It was frustrating to watch, obviously, because, again, we're going to play the what-if game. If Clemson goes down, obviously the game in 2 weeks against Florida State is even that much bigger in the grand scheme of things. And, the ACC, where preseason, oh my God, we're going to have two people in the playoffs. Now, you're in trouble. Doesn't happen. NC State blows it and loses in overtime. Clemson scores, I think, in 4 plays. NC State gets the ball in overtime. And
a heinous pick. That was such a bad pick. Oh, my goodness. That was the first play, too.
Let's segue into...
By the way, we both picked Clemson to cover.
No way.
I'm pretty sure we did.
That sucks. Okay.
Yeah, let the viewers know I made a boo-boo. We're going to have to go look at the tape to see what the picks were. I forgot to send them. I'll man up and raise my hand there. That was on me.
Let's move to another game that just was so frustrating to watch from a shake-up standpoint, and we're going to go Ohio State, Wisconsin.
Oh, Brad, you thought you had them, too.
God. What a painful game to watch. Wisconsin just kind of... Another game where if you know it's going into overtime, Ohio State is going to nail the coffin shut. And Wisconsin let them back, and again, inexcusable. I just so mad right now.
I love how we just love talking about each other's least favorite teams. This is when you boil this podcast down to its basis element, it's like
we hate Clemson, we hate Michigan, we hate Ohio State.
just how many times can Brad bring up Alabama and the SEC, and how many times can I bring up Urban Meyer and Ohio State? That's what this podcast is. It's what it's come to. I don't hate it though.
The 7 viewers that watched last week love it too.
I mean, last thing, how infuriating was JT Barrett in that game for you?
He wasn't. He was just an average quarterback. There's nothing special about him. I don't know. Looking at his stats in, like, the Heisman race, obviously Lamar Jackson, I think, is a runaway if he just puts up an okay rest of the season.
Are you a has to be on a good team, like a team that gets up there guy, or what are you?
No. And I don't think last year's was a runaway. And if Christian McCaffrey won or Watson and won, I would have been okay with it. Seriously, like, I get where both are coming from. It's completely understandable. The fact that Derrick Henry won, I think, I'm not arguing any other way. They were all very good teams, though. I mean, Stanford lost 2. Clemson obviously lost in the finals, and Alabama obviously won the national championship. But I think it came down to those 3, and where it went, that's fine. This year, I think Lamar Jackson is a runaway. Obviously, he leads the team in rushing, obviously throwing, touchdowns. He is the Louisville offense. So,
he's pretty good.
He's good. But yeah, going back to Ohio State, Wisconsin, very frustrating watch. I think we both had Wisconsin in the points.
Did we?
Yes.
That sounds like something we would have done. Well, you had to check the tape.
Gotta check the tape. I'm going with that. Let's move on to pseudo game of the week. Or no, let's go to Ole Miss, Arkansas. We got a shootout down in the SEC. A bunch of 4-2 teams. 3-2 and 4-2 teams going at it. Ole Miss, I feel like, gave the game away. They let Williams rush for 180 yards, and Chad Kelly was only held to 1 touchdown. 18 for 39. Not good.
Not good. I think Hugh Freeze has to fake his death again and have a funeral to try and make a bowl game.
That was a tough game to watch.
The Razorbacks 5-2.
The Razorbacks are 5-2.
They could.
We've been covering a lot of Razorback football lately.
We have. I feel like that's such a neo-football thing to say these days. Like, a lot of people like Arkansas.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, as much as I hate the SEC and all that, I don't feel like they're an SEC style team. It's probably because Brett Bielema. But I just don't feel like they're SEC-ish, so I like them.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense.
Yes. Arkansas is a pretty physical team up front. Thought they did a pretty good job, obviously, with Chad Kelly and just making him less of effective. With big players like that, it's hard to stop him completely, but I think Chad is the real deal. Old swag killer. But Ole Miss falls again. Falls to 3-3, 1-2 in the SEC. When
they're dead.
Yeah.
I feel like they've lost more than 3 games. Isn't that crazy?
What?
The way their season's going, I feel like they've lost more than 3 games.
They've lost some pretty big games. I mean, they lost to Florida State the first week of the season.
They should be 6-0.
They lost to.
They should be 6-0 out of the SEC East.
What was it?
Sorry.
They blew a 24-point lead against Florida State. They blew a 21-point
lead
against Bama.
And if they did, and you'd like to think 5-0, they whoop up on Arkansas.
Yeah,
they also had some injuries, but still.
They had to come back, and we're winning late, but it was frustrating to watch there. And then we had North Carolina, Miami.
Yeah.
All right. What did we learn here? The U is not back.
It's Brad. It's not back. We may have brought it back a little too early, but it's not back.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also basing my U is back with fans spitting on Florida State players and throwing beers at them. So the fans are back.
The fans are back,
but the U is not back yet.
The U
4-2 though. Mark Richt's first year. What's their back meter? They're 4. No, they're 5. They're 5 right now. Year 1. That's not a bad number. No?
Year 1, but it's just Mark Richt was
9-3 Mark Richt.
Like the Frank Beamer of the SEC East.
Go 7-0, lose to Alabama, and then lose at Missouri, and that's your season. And then win out and be like, oh, Mark Richt 9-3, 10-2, with nothing, finishing kind of high, murder the recruiting trail, and then just rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. So North Carolina, obviously taking a stranglehold there, and I believe the Coastal. I don't have those memorized. Division, 3-1 in the ACC as Miami. Their only threat in the Coastal. 1-2. So in the ACC, so it looks like North Carolina is about to punch their ticket back. Barring them blowing. Interesting scoring. They didn't score. North Carolina didn't score points in the second half.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
20-3 going into halftime, and they held Miami to 10 in the second half. Again, that's just a sloppy game.
Go on. As of now, it's Clemson UNC. Yeah. Clemson will have to lose twice for Louisville to get up there.
Yeah,
but look who's playing spoiler right now is Florida State. They could upset Clemson. Clemson's very beatable.
So that would mix a whole lot of things up. Let's talk scenarios after our last game here. Big game. A lot. I don't know if a lot of questions were answered in this one. Tennessee obviously blown out of their own stadium by Alabama and Jalen Hurts. When asked, Nick Saban said this is the most complete game they have played all season, yet there's still room for improvement.
I really like how you've just glanced over the other scores and you're giving me press clipping snippets from Alabama. Thanks. I hate you, but it's all right. Hey, law of averages.
Law of averages. I mean, this was supposed to be the thriller of the weekend. Alabama at Tennessee. Lane Kiffin's coming back to Tennessee, which is always interesting. And this is a rivalry game. This is their mandatory East versus West game they got to play every year. It was not much of a game. Dugan take it from here. You know what? I have some bias on this, so you give me your thoughts.
Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I mean, look at what this Tennessee team has been good enough to look at the teams they've kind of come back on. Minus Texas A&M, who we'll talk about later. So what? That technically it starts with Appalachian State. I mean, they should have won that game easily. So they're clearly underachieving there. And then you go out to who else is in there, Brad? Florida, who just doesn't have a quarterback. So as soon as and it was a home game, so they should have won that game too. There was another really close one in there as well.
They beat Virginia Tech. I mean, they beat them
after they were down a lot. So they're really good at that second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter adjustment. But it just so happens, like we said last week, with Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban, they're the kings of that. So Nick Saban clearly knew what the shit they were probably going to be doing, unlike the other coach that they faced. So this is you had to see this coming from a mile away.
A blowout like that. I mean, it wasn't even a game. Again, I'm biased. All right. Moving on. Alabama blows them out of the water 49-10. Not even a game. Other notes to other notable games from the weekend. Houston barely survives again with a 38-31
What a play to end that game.
squeak over Tulsa.
Did you see that? Did you see that play
No, I didn't.
to end the game? They came down. Tulsa was driving, and they threw like a ball over the middle, and the dude got tackled at like the 5, and it was a first down. So as soon as they got up there, they had no timeouts. They had to just go for it right away. Quarterback rolls out to the right and throws this ball to the tight end, and he literally catches it a centimeter from the goal line, goes to turn in, and gets met by 2 guys, and they don't go backwards. They go to the pylon, and the ball is just short. Unbelievable way to finish the game.
Heartbreaking stuff.
Heartbreaking stuff. That's the good stuff, though. But no, Houston's back, right?
Houston's bad.
Can I put them in my Final Four?
No. Well, you
Okay.
can. You'll just be wrong.
Not if Louisville beats them. Not if they beat Louisville.
Florida has an impressive win against anybody. 41.
How about Syracuse?
40.
Sorry to jump in.
14. That's a Syracuse. That's a hell of a end of the game speech right there.
Boy, Virginia Tech, man. The Carrier Dome. That'll get you. I hope they played in the Carrier Dome. We'll just say they did.
Western Michigan 7-0, 41-0 against Akron.
That coach is about to get the job that Tom Hermans doesn't want. BJ Fleck's going to get paid. Have you seen that guy? He's a 36-year-old. He's like a lunatic.
No.
Yeah, Brad. He's very Harbaugh-esque.
And then
So he's going to go somewhere. Sorry.
Another interesting storyline coming out of college football world, at least from our standpoint of just automatically writing out off the Big Ten, is West Virginia 5-0.
Big 12.
I'm sorry?
They're in the Big 12.
I'm sorry, Big 12. Yeah, and Chip Kelly, right?
that was still an all. No, the all-timer was the first episode when you said, and I'm Dugan, and that's Neubeck. That's how this started. So, I mean, only way it was up.
Yeah, only way to go is up. West Virginia and Baylor both undefeated going into Week 8. Chances that these teams are undefeated come playoff picture time. Who knows? It's only 2 more weeks until we get our first college football sort of projections from the committee. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Nebraska, the Cornhuskers are 6-0 as well. So
Big Ten.
A lot of interesting stuff going on here going into Week 8. Teams to watch out for that could shake up that just weren't on the radar of anybody, especially conferences. So, Dugan, any thoughts about last weekend?
I'm trying to think. Christian McCaffrey didn't play, so his scoring a touchdown on visitors' field still stands, which is still the most ridiculous stat of all time. Anything else happen? How about Navy?
They didn't play.
But just in the big picture.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they're 4-1. Then 3-0 in the American division. So, I mean, you could see them come
Ranked 24th. They play a 5-1 Memphis. Then they'll play Notre Dame, maybe a good SMU team, and beat Army. I hope they get a big game. I like what they're doing now down Navy.
I forget to let's move that game up. Let's talk about Memphis Navy.
Why not, right?
Why not?
Let's give the little people, or not the little people, the unheralded teams some.
We were going to do all Ole Miss LSU, but let's. We've been doing the MCC here, and I know Dugan thinks I'm a homer.
I mean, you are. So am I. We're all homers at heart.
All right, so Memphis favored by 1.5. What are you thinking? These are two teams I have not watched.
3:30
So.
Navy. I like Navy.
That's
I have to.
The triple
Home state.
The triple threat.
Triple option.
It's
Triple threats basketball, but it's all right.
I would say thing. Oh.
Who do you like?
I'm going Navy as well. Hey, Dad was in the Navy, so I got to go for Navy, right?
Your dad was a Navy man.
He was a Navy man. Wasn't a midshipman, but he was a Navy man.
That reminds me of Boy Meets World when they're Eric Matthews saying that was a Navy man, and he's like, "Dude, Dad was a cook on the Navy ship. He was a cook." So
hey,
sorry for
he was still in the Navy.
He's still in the Navy. So we're both on Navy. I can dig that, Brad.
But USA for the troops.
You're not wrong with that.
For the troops.
So let's run through these games.
Let's go to NC State, Louisville. NC State coming off that almost road upset, almost. And then they're back on the road again at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium. We got a 12 o'clock kick, and Louisville is getting 20 and a half.
Oh yeah, I was seeing if you saw the spread yet. They are wild. Wild spread.
That's a lot.
Hey, a lot of points.
A lot of points. The question is Lamar Jackson going to go off?
The question is, does NC State make their kicker walk?
How far do you think it is? It's probably pretty far.
Oh, that's real far. I don't know. But anywho, is he going to go off? Yeah, he's going to go off. That's 20 points is a lot.
Yeah, give me NC State. I'll take the points as well.
You are. I'm gonna take Louisville actually, just because I don't think. I hope I'm wrong, but they're just gonna come out flat at NC State and just be really downtrodden after that game at Clemson. So good on Louisville.
All right.
Yeah. Next we got a big game here. 3:30 appointment television. For Bama haters like me, who I've been flip-flopping back and forth in this game. And this is classic when I tell myself it's going to be awesome. And Texas A&M gets out to a 14-3 lead, and then I text you a bunch of times. And then, I just get put in an executioner's chair for the next 3 quarters. And they'll win 35-17 Bama. And I'll be miserable.
I don't think... no, I take that back. Most, and I say most, in the recent years of Alabama's losses have come at home. I will say that. Texas A&M is coming off a bye. Both teams undefeated. Obviously winning different styles. Obviously, both teams have NFL talent. Alabama is favored by 19.5 points on the Vern Lundquist SEC Game of the Week. That is a lot of points.
A lot of points.
People in Vegas...
A&M loves scoring, too.
People in Vegas love playing back that Tennessee game, huh, Doogie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Trevor Knight has beaten Alabama in the past as well.
Trevor Knight, they have a good pass rush.
Just get
Myles
a little
Garrett, if he's healthy.
A little factoid out there.
They can just score a lot of points. I would just take those points. That's what I'm going to add to it. But that's just me.
Out of sheer boredom, football power rankings, or football power index, on ESPN, very bored, checking this out. They have A&M a 78% chance that they will lose this game against Alabama. LSU has a better chance, according to the Football Power Index, to win against Bama. How crazy is that? But anything can happen. I say that now. After watching, no, you know what? Too many points. I'm with you. I will take Texas A&M in the points.
That's a good play.
I knew you would agree with me there.
Yeah. And last but not least, for the big point spreads, Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State's giving up 19.5.
Now, usually, I mean, we've been blessed with so many good weekends. This is sort of lackluster compared to most.
It's crazy because they're good teams, too, that they're playing. It's not like it's really bad teams. You know what I mean?
That's true. But obviously, by this point, these teams have losses. Penn State 4-2, 2-1 in the Big Ten. Obviously, Ohio State is undefeated. Coming into Beaver Stadium, and this game will be a whiteout, apparently.
Are they going to honor Joe Pop?
Oh, God. No, I think they're done with that. Ohio State is favored by 19.5. I will just say this, that Trace McSorley has...
That's a bad name.
has better throwing statistics than J.T. Parrott. Just throwing it out there.
Pun intended.
Yeah. Gosh. Either Wisconsin was all cracked up, that they're as good as advertised, or just Ohio State didn't show up. We'll find out this weekend. Give me Penn State in the points.
Give you Penn State in the points?
Yep.
I saw what Penn State played. We played Maryland 2 weeks ago. They beat Maryland pretty good. Was not impressed with Penn State. I like Ohio State to come back here. People get people talking about how they're going to smack around some bad teams. So I'm taking the points again. My points all 3 times. No, only 2 out of 3. Yeah, I'm taking the points.
Fair enough. We go to our last game of the week, Wisconsin at Iowa, Kinnick Stadium, Iowa City. Wisconsin favored by only 3.5 points against an Iowa Hawkeyes team that's 5-2, 3-1 in the Big Ten. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like this line should be higher.
Definitely.
Do you agree?
Yes.
I feel like next week when we check back in, we'll kind of scratch our heads and be like, what the hell just happened?
I haven't gone first yet. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go Wisconsin. I know Iowa has lost their top receiver, if I'm not mistaken. And I just like Wisconsin. I mean, I think they have a little redemption coming in after losing that game in overtime. They're going to come back out and hopefully keep their bid up for a high bowl game. So keep Wisconsin.
I think so too. I think this is kind of a mystery as to why so low, but I think this is free money. I think Wisconsin wins by 17.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly very, very possible.
Other notes going into this weekend? Any notable games that you would like to talk about?
Nothing crazy. I'm really interested. I'm going to be in Richmond for the homecoming. So Roe and I are making it appointment television to watch that A&M Alabama game. So really excited for that.
Yeah, KA is open. You can go there. Arkansas, Auburn. Auburn's sneaking back into the rankings here. 4-2, 2-1 in the SEC. Auburn favored by 10 at home. That should be an interesting game to watch. Houston goes on the road against SMU. Whoopity-doo. And Ole Miss LSU. LSU favored by 5.5. They're creeping back, I guess.
That's interim ed right there.
Interim ed.
And a dead lion, or tiger.
Yeah. So Dugan, I'll end with how are those? How are the Ottawa Senators doing?
They're 1-1-1, right? Isn't that how that hockey scoring goes?
Yes.
So not too bad, dude. They're still letting up an atrocious amount of goals.
Gotta fix the leak in the
2-1-0, Brad. I'm sorry.
2-1-0.
2-1-0. They've given up. They gave up they gave up 4, 3, and 5.
4, 3, and 5. Wow,
that's a lot of goals.
That is a lot of goals.
Take some time for Guy Boucher to get his defense in order, though. So we'll be all right.
A lot of good teams back in the NHL this year, but you guys won your home or the opener, didn't you?
Sure did, against Austin Matthews.
Oh, there you go. Dugan, you'll probably see this tomorrow, but somebody just died at the Verizon Center for the Washington Capitals Avalanche game.
Did someone actually die?
No, but somebody just did a front flip. Oh
boy!
Yeah,
I hope it wasn't a fan.
No, it was somebody from the Avalanche. Well, all right, Dugan, who are you voting for?
Dude, I really don't know.
Neither do I.
I think it's more of a question of like, who do I immediately not want to vote for? I don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. But that's not necessarily saying that I want to vote for Donald Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how precise is the South Park turd sandwich thing? That's exactly
Mr.
what it
Garrison or Mrs. Garrison, whatever, saying, just please don't vote for me. And then the Hillary just being like, my opponent is a liar.
That's great storytelling right there, Brad.
I know. Sorry. Jordan texted me. All right. We need to end this.
All right.
Terrible. We'll check back in next week. Hopefully, Notre Dame loses again.
Hopefully, I remember the picks.
Yeah, that too. All right.
All right. Well, hey, be safe.
Yes. Drink responsibly. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.